Good morning, everyone. It's Jamie from IndependenceStTarot and Seasons from Ritual, and I'm here to talk about this dark moon in Virgo that's happening today on September 14th. The dark moon that then will go into the new moon. The new moon is at 9 or 8:30 tonight, I believe. So when we're in this phase, the dark moon, I always see the dark moon when it's completely dark, and then the new moon is when you start to see a little sliver. So I would still call this the dark moon phase, honestly. And so when the dark moon is happening, that is when the sun and the moon are conjunct, and that's when the divine masculine and divine feminine are together. And to me, this is always a time of rest. It's a time of just kind of going within and talking to ourselves and seeing what it is that we want to work on for the next lunar cycle. The good news about this one is that it is 22 degrees of Virgo, which means we're in the final stages, the final declination, the third declination of Virgo, if you will. So once we hit that, once we start going into this closer 22, 25 on, that is more of the mastery numbers of any sign. And I think it's really interesting that we are, this new moon is going to be, or dark moon is conjunct Uranus, or not conjunct, excuse me, it's trining Uranus, who is in Taurus. So Virgo is an earth sign, and Virgo is mutable earth, and Virgo is the resolver. Virgo gets things done. And so all of this, not all, but most of this Virgo season, we've had Mercury in retrograde. And I was and I don't know about you guys, but I was kind of bebopping along, and then it kind of was just like, oof, Mercury's definitely retrograde. At the same time, it's been a really good Mercury retrograde in the fact that, again, it was going over things that earth signs represent. We started out with Venus retrograde, and Venus is ruled by Taurus, and Taurus is fixed earth. And so it was really kind of going over ourselves and where we want to go and what we look forward to abundance wise. Like, it was this good time to go and reintroduce ourselves to people. It was a good time to reintroduce ourselves to ourselves, like where we are now and what it is that we want to move forward. And then Venus turned direct in Virgo season, and then Jupiter went retrograde, right? So Venus turned direct, and then Jupiter went retrograde. And Jupiter, who is the planet of gifts, luck, gifts, luck, and money, right? But also that planet of faith is in Taurus as well, right? This is the first time Jupiter's been in Taurus for 12 years. Again, Taurus is fixed earth. Again, Taurus ruled by Venus. Venus was retrograde, she goes direct. Jupiter moves into Taurus, and then now Jupiter goes retrograde. So it's really going over all these things that Taurus rules, stability, creativity, that divine feminine energy with receiving, right? And so now we are receiving all this, I just keep saying like love, but like receiving all this energy of saying like we can do this, right? Mercury, who rules Virgo, and also Gemini, but who rules Virgo, has been direct all of Virgo season, right? So Virgo's ruler was retrograde until like till tomorrow. Okay, it stations direct, so that's great. And so we've been in this really intense time for this Virgo season, with all these earth energies, Mother Earth, ourselves. We had to really go in this Virgo season and do kind of like a little bit of some excavation work, like where is it where we want to go, where we are now. And Virgo was really getting in there and seeing all those old stories that needed to leave, that need to move out, so we can move on. We're saying, this is where I'm going, this is who I am, we're making all those I am statements. Well, to keep us moving in that direction, we had to clean out the closets. We had to really just take a hard look and be like, I can't bring, this baggage. And so this dark moon to me is now this time of rest, that divine masculine and feminine again are together. They're quiet, they're talking, they could be having fun. They could get loud later on if you want, or go skiing. I don't know, that just came to my mind, but it is this time to reflect and see now that we have been cleaning out those closets where we are. Again, this dark moon is trining Jupiter in Taurus, and so that trine energy is good energy. And so it is almost like, because things have been retrograde and maybe things haven't been moving really fast, and you feel like you've been doing a lot of work, on the same thing, or like you keep polishing the same thing, or like keep greasing the same wheel, and trying to get all the sand out so it can start moving quickly. It's like Jupiter is there in this time when we're divine masculine and feminine together, saying, hold the faith, hold that line, just focus on what it is that you want. You've done a lot of this work about what you see, what you don't want, or what stories. So just hold that line, keep that faith. Jupiter there in, I would say, Mother Taurus is great for us, right? Because Virgo is mutable earth, and it's really moving us out of that old way. It is really moving us out of that story. So, or old way of being, even that old energy. And it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. But Virgo is resolving this. Virgo is saying, I hear you, and I'm getting you there. We might not feel like, we're like, well, I just kind of feel like I'm sitting in this holding pattern. And Virgo's like, no, we've done all the work. This is what I do. I resolve these things. And so things are being resolved. So now we can take that exhale. We can thank Virgo for doing what it's great at doing. We can now start to look forward a little bit, because I'm always telling Virgos to stay in the present. But we can look forward a little bit, because Mercury is stationing direct, and then starting to move direct tomorrow on the 15th. So now we can start just a little bit looking forward to what's coming in. We can tell Jupiter, hey, Jupiter, I do have faith that things are actually going to start moving in the right direction. I really do. I've been kind of working out this Virgo season, going over things that I needed to go over. I needed to go over the way that I talk to myself. I needed to go over the way that I communicate myself to others. So many people that I know are like rebranding, starting new projects, right? And this was this perfect time. Even if they've been thinking about it for years, right? My friend Kevin, he now is running St. Roch Market, right? And he's been talking about that for years, kicking it around, what if? And then all of a sudden, now here it is, right? And that's just kind of how these things work. So on one hand, that seed has been planted. I've got my friend Sierra, she sent out an email saying she's fine, she's done it. She's got 1,000 subscribers, right? And she was so excited. She's been doing her thing with yoga and all the things for over 5-6 years, and she just got to 1,000 subscribers. She's like, I did it, thank you so much. It's still going forward, right? So it is also this time on this dark moon to look back and see, like, you did it. There's things that you wanted to do in life that you have done. There's things that you wanted to do in life that are here now. Right here they are. And now this Mercury, which rules Virgo, is stationing and about to turn direct. And so you can say, thank you, Mercury, for allowing me, and thank you, Virgo, in this Virgo season, for allowing me to go within and really do the work, right? And see what's important. And it's going to be this, and it's been a little tough, maybe a little uncomfortable. But now I'm ready for this new adventure. I'm thankful Jupiter is retrograde, so I can really think about what it is that I want, and that it's retrograde in Taurus, which is another earth sign, which is great. So you have fixed earth and mutable earth working together with this dark moon, new moon, and that's perfect. You guys, you want that fixed energy so you can kind of see the structure, and like, oh, okay, this feels solid. You're gonna kick the tires, to make sure. But then that mutable earth, which is Virgo, which is the car, can get you to the next phase of life where you're going, right? So all this beautiful energy is working together. I am going to read. I usually don't pull cards when I do moon readings, but I do want to read this one. I pulled this yesterday, and it's so interesting. As you guys can see, it's called the seed, right? Which is perfect because the masculine and feminine energies are together. And it has like a little pearl in the middle, right? And so yesterday, me and my friend Edwin went and ate, and we were sharing some oysters, and sure enough, there was a little pearl in my oyster. But this card really helped me, especially yesterday. I was feeling like agitated, and this is a deck that I don't pull from every day. There's decks that I do, there is a deck I pull from every day with my altar, but this isn't one of them. I go to this deck when it's when I really need some guidance, and it's always spot on. Okay, so this is the seed. Okay. It says the beginning, and again, we're in this dark moon, so that's so perfect. The beginning, the origin, the pearl. Beginnings come in many forms. They are not always a beautiful seed placed intentionally in nourishing soil. Let me start over. Okay, beginnings come in many forms. They are not always a beautiful seed placed intentionally in nourishing soil. Origin stories, like any birth story, are complex, surprising, multi-layered, and usually reveal a central image or detail that represents the fully formed being. Simply stated, the end is present in the beginning, or the entire oak tree resides within the acorn. Whether you follow this imaginal theory or not, know that when this card appears, there is a potent generative energy all around. It stirs your very insides and usually results in an antsy, impatient feeling. Pay particular attention to what agitates you, as it is a sure sign of growth to come. You are bumping up against a growth edge. It is from the grit that the pearl eventually comes to be. And so when this energy is light, it's generative, fertile, germinating, and building. So you guys keep that in mind. And as I was just reading this, it came to me again, because this is how this works. This dark moon is trining Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus. I forgot to mention the Uranus part. So Uranus is the cosmos. Uranus is that spark. Uranus is that, now I got it, right? And so with this dark moon, while you're sitting here, telling yourself, because you're showing up holy, your masculine and feminine are intense together, and they're whispering and laughing with all these things to Jupiter about what they want, and how this Mercury retrograde has been, and it's about to turn direct. Well, Uranus is right there too, listening. And Uranus is that spark. Uranus is that surprise. Uranus is that cosmos. Uranus is the revolution, right? Here it comes. Here it is. Here you go, in a good way, right? That revolution that's like, okay, like maybe you have been kind of, trying not to have expectations, or like looking like, I kind of think it might come in like this, but when Uranus there, it says, here it is, like this is how it's going to come in, and you're like, oh, here it is, right? So take faith in that, right? Which is good because it's with Jupiter. So I'm going to leave it there. You guys have a beautiful dark moon in Virgo, lots of beautiful earth energy to get us where we need to be. Earth is the creator. Earth is Sophia Gaia. So, see yourself as these co-creators. If you're sitting around saying, I always feel like I'm on something big, but I don't know what it is, this is the time for you to tell the universe what it is. I want this to come into my life, right? we have to co-create from within. We have to co-create together. We have to tell the universe what it is that we want. And then the universe starts throwing things up, and we can kind of say, okay, this is the road I want to go down. This is the road I want to go down. But you, as the creator, right? This earth energy, this Sophia Gaia, you have to tell the universe what it is that you want to create, what it is that you desire, what it is that will bring you joy and abundance, you know. And with this Uranus energy there in Taurus, along with Jupiter, you know, trining this dark moon, this is a really good energy. So, and Mercury's turning direct. So now you get to tell everybody, hey, you get to tell the universe, this is exactly what I want. For the time being, it may change. And the universe is like, that's okay. You know, I'm flexible. That's the good thing about the universe. It's flexible. Okay. All right, you guys, have a really good Virgo dark moon, and I will see you soon.